this is Rosa Kelly. Welcome back to my Cascading Petals tutorial. On this part, we are going to be working on the inside pages. So we set up the base pages, and this time I'm doing something different. So we have the pages basically covered with our design paper, and now I'm going to be adding different elements into these pages. And I think this is gonna be fun because since we're gonna create these elements separate, you can go ahead and place them whichever way you want. And even if you make multiple albums using the same construction, you can make your albums different every time you make them. So now for the pages, I'm going to use my scrap pieces that I had left over from making the base pages for the book. Also, we are going to be using some basic gray magnets, and you can find all of these at JS Hobbies and Crafts, and again the link will be on the description box down below. And I am using the large magnets here. So my scrap pieces measure 5.5 by 12. I'm just giving you the dimensions just in case you have different scraps. So I am going to start with a piece of 7.25 by 5.25. So let's do here 7.25 by 5.25. So this is going to be our first booklet, and I'm going to put this aside because that is going to be the base of that. And then I'm going to grab two, and I'm also going to cut these ones at 7.25, and I'm going to leave these at 5.5. Okay, so I have two, and I'm going to do two more. So again, these are going to be 7.25 by 5.5. Okay, so now we're going to score these pieces. So I am going to place these along the 5.5 inch side, and I'm just going to score at 1/2 inch on one side, and I'm going to do the same for all 4 pieces. Okay, so now we're going to fold along the score lines on these pieces here, and we are going to add that into our base that we made, the one that is 5.25 by 7.25, I think. So we are going to just place one on each side like that. So I'm just going to add this with my glue. So I'm using the art glitter glue, and again, you can also find these on the website. I get a lot of questions on that. And this is the glue that you have to always be careful when you buy it, because it does not do well on the cold temperatures. So on the winter they stop selling this glue. So usually around September I stock up on my glue and make sure I have enough to last me through the winter. Okay, so I'm going to do one on the left, and then I'm going to do one on top of this one that we just added. Okay, so it's going to be 2 on the left, and then we're going to do the same for the right side. So I'm just going to press this down, and you can use tape for this as well. So I'm going to open these 2, and now I'm going to add my pieces on the right side. And as you can see, this is a really simple little booklet, and I want to make sure that all of these options are going to be really easy to do, quick, simple. So if you're a new mini album maker and sometimes if you're a little intimidated with different layouts, I think this will be a really good tutorial for you to try out. Okay, so I am doing 2 on this side as well. And what I like to do with this type of layout is just close one and then one from each side, just like this. And then this also gives you a lot of room for pictures as well. So then we are going to grab our magnets, and we are going to add one on each side. So let me go ahead and open this up. So these magnets are really good because they already come with the stickiness, and then you have a plus and a minus, so it's really easy to match the magnets as well. So I'm going to grab one of each. So then I'm going to open up my booklet, and I am going to do, whoops, one of my magnets here on this side, and then I'm going to place the other one right on top, and we are going to place this magnet and just close this. Okay, so it's really up to you how you want your page to open, if you want it to open like this or if you want it to open like that. So I just turn mine around because I like this opening a little bit better. And then we're going to decorate these with our design paper. So I'm just going to pick one of my designs. So I'm going to use this design here, and since I have a lot of scrap pieces of my gold paper, I'm going to use my gold paper as well. So this is going to be cut at 7 by 4 3/4, which already is, and this should fit here. Okay, and then I'm going to cut this page right here. This is going to be 6 3/4, so I'm just going to do that first, and then we're going to do 4 1/2. So I want to make sure that I'm centering my window, so I'm going to actually start right here, and then I'm going to count 4 1/2 from this side, and that will be right there, and that way I have my window centered. And we are just going to glue these right here like so, and then I'm going to do the inside of the booklets later on as I see how many pieces of scraps I have left over. I'm going to do this one right on top. So this one is a little bit smaller so you can see the gold frame around it. Okay, so we're just placing that right on top, just like so. So this is going to be our first little booklet, and now we're going to get to the next one. So for the next one, I am going to again grab one of my scrap pieces here, and I am just going to cut these at 5 1/4 again. Okay, and then I'm going to cut these at 6 inches. So we have 2 pieces, and then I'm going to grab one more, and I'm going to do 5 1/4 by 6 1/4. Okay, so the 6 1/4 by 5 1/4 is going to be our base, so I'm going to put that one aside. And then we have the 6 1/4 by 6, and we have 2 pieces of that. So we're going to score that along the 6 inches at 1/2 inch and 3/4 inches. And I'm going to do the same for the other one. We're going to score at 1/2 inch and 3/4 inches. And then we are going to fold along the score lines. We have 1 and 2, and same thing here. We have 1 and 2, and then we're going to add some glue or tape, whichever you prefer, on the 1/2 inch section, and we are going to line this up with our base. So we're going to place it along the top, and we're just going to lay these flat for now, but we have a 1/4 inch that is going to be the gusset for these booklets. Okay, this booklet is going to have a little bit of volume, and then I'm going to do the same on the bottom. We're going to add some glue and line this up along the bottom, just like this. Okay, So I don't think I lined this up good, so I'm just gonna move it. And that's the good thing about using glue. Okay, so here we go. So now we have an opening on the top and the bottom. That's going to be our little booklet. So for the insides, I am going to continue using my scrap pieces here. So I am going to use 2, and these again measure 5.5 by 12. So I'm going to simply cut these at 6 inches. So you're gonna have 4 pieces of 6 inches by 5.5. And we are going to score again. So here we go. We are going to do 1/2 inch along the 5.5 inch side. So 1/2 inch. So now we're going to fold along the score line again, and we are going to place these pieces one on top of each other. So I'm going to add some glue on my 1/2 inch again, and just line these up on top. And these are all going to have the 1/2 inch flap on the same side. Okay, so now I'm going to grab the next one and place it right on top on the same side, just like that. So we're just creating a little booklet here, and same thing here, and some glue, and on the same side. There you go. So now we have these booklets. So again, lots of pictures here, 8 pictures just in there. And then we are going to bring the base and open this up, and we're going to add these right on the inside here. So we're going to add our glue on this 1/2 inch, and you're going to make sure to center this up and down so you are not touching your score lines or your bending lines. Okay, so this will be a little bit smaller than your base, and then we're gonna close these and close that like so. Okay, so now we're going to place our magnets. So I'm going to open these up, and I am just simply going to add 1 magnet right here, about 1/2 inch away from the edge, and then we're going to place the second one right on top, peel off this little tape, and then before you close these, you want to make sure that your gussets are perpendicular, so that way you're not gonna lay them flat too much like that. You're just gonna hold this right in place, see, and then we're going to just press down here on the magnets so it can connect to the page. And there you go. So now we have another roomy booklet, so we can add a lot of pictures in here as well. And I'm also going to decorate these using my gold cardstock first. Whoops. And again, I'm just trying to keep the same consistency of having that pretty gold paper around. I think that will look really pretty, and now at this point I feel like if I don't add it, it kind of looks a little bit, I don't know, empty, because it just really looks so pretty with the gold here. So I'm just gonna add some 1 piece there, and I'm also going to do, whoops, let's open this up, 1 piece here. Okay, so I'm just gonna add glue. And the thing with gold cardstock is you always see the glue lines on the cardstock. So if you're just going to do gold, make sure to do double-sided tape instead of glue. But since I'm going to cover this up with my design paper on top, I'm not to worry about the gold, the glue marks in there. So now I'm just gonna cut this page and just add that on top. I'm also going to cut this design here so I can embellish the front of my booklet. So I think I'm going to use this pretty pink one here. I might have to trim this one a little bit smaller, so because I want to make sure that fits there. So maybe I'll take out this first frame here. So I'm just gonna make this like so. Now I'm just gonna glue these pieces down, and I'm just gonna glue them all the way. And I'm gonna place this one right on the center, just like that. And I love how it looks like it has a lot of layers in here. And I'm going to just place this one right here. And there you go. We are done with our second booklet. So for our next booklet, we're going to be making a waterfall. So I'm cutting this piece at 5.5 by 7.5, and then I'm going to need 6 pieces of 5.5 by 5 inches. So I'm just going to cut these at 5.5 and this 5.5, and then I'm going to cut these by 5 inches. And then I'm going to score at 1/2 inch along the 5-inch side. Okay, so now we're going to fold along the score lines, and we are going to add these pieces onto our base, which is this one right here. So I'm just going to start with the first one right along the top. So I'm going to do some glue on my flap right here. And we're just going to line this up, and there you go. Then you're gonna open this up, and we're going to place the next one right below that 1/2 inch section right there. So I'm going to add my glue and just place this right there on top. And then we're going to open this one up, and we are going to continue adding all the pieces. So then I have a little piece from my scraps here, and this measures 5 inches by about 2.5, and I score at 1/2 inch, and this is going to be placed right under my base, just like this right here. I'm gonna glue it on the center, and that is going to be the closure for my waterfall. So I'm just gonna find the center right there, and I'm going to add glue on this side. Okay, and then I'm just going to add that piece right here, and we're going to add a magnet here as well to keep this closed. So I'm just going to pick 2 again, and I'm doing the plus and the minus, and you want to place your magnet right there, but on the inside. So I'm going to start with this one right here, and then we're going to add the other one right there, like so. And that is going to be the closure, and there you go. So I went ahead and cut some pieces of paper to cover this up. So this right here, I just layer my gold and some scrap pieces of my design paper, and I'm going to glue that right on that little belt. And then I'm going to layer again my gold foil paper and my beautiful design paper here. So I made this waterfall to fit this beautiful image because I just like it so much, so pretty. And then for the inside of the waterfall, I'm just going to use scrap pieces here. So I cut these little bands at 5 1/4 by 3/4 inches, and I'm going to put these ones right in there, and then I'm going to layer my design paper, which I cut at 5 by 1/2 inch. So I'm just gonna join these two together, and I'm just embellishing the bottom part of my waterfall, and the rest is just going to be covered with pictures. So I'm going to add this one right there, just like that. And then this way you can add a picture, or you can actually add a picture here and journal on this side. Okay, and when you close it, it's gonna look nice and finished. So I'm just gonna finish up adding all of these pieces. So we're done with our 3 little booklets. 1, 2, go ahead and add this into my book so we start seeing it come together. So I'm going to pick which pages I'm going to add these booklets on. And I was looking at these, and my goodness, look how cute these birds are. I think I'm going to add these 2 pieces on my purple background pages, because this has a lot of purple. And then these 2, I made them coordinate because I wanted to put them face to face like this. So I'm going to add the waterfall piece right there. And of course you can pick and choose where you want to add your booklets. Like I said, you can switch around the design and just make it a little bit more fun. And there you go. So I'm going to just add that one right there, and then I'm going to add this one here. Okay, and I'm just gluing the whole thing down. I'm not creating pockets or anything in here because I want to make sure these are gonna hold really good onto the page. Okay, so there we go, we have those. I'm just gonna open this up so I can press down here on the center. And then at the end, I'm going to come back and see how much paper I have left to finish up adding the inside designs. And then this other booklet with the beautiful window, I think I'm gonna put it here because it just looks like this is the front of the little cottage there, right, with the door and the window. So I think I'm just gonna add that one right here, and we're just gonna place this down just like that. I love when it starts coming together. I definitely need to cover this side so we don't see all this white space right in there, but so far it's looking really pretty, and we have a lot of room for pictures. So next time we're gonna work on the layouts for these 2, and then maybe smaller ones for these ones there, and one for the cover. So I hope you guys are enjoying the tutorial so far, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye bye.